Short exercise 10-6. We're going to calculate straight line depreciation, but partway through the life of the asset, we're going to have a change in one of the estimates. In this case, the useful life of the asset. So assume that ABC Catering Service paid $20,000 for equipment with a 10-year life and zero expected residual value. After using the equipment for 4 years, the company determines that the asset will remain useful for only 3 more years. All right. So what we have to do is we have to first calculate the depreciation for those first 4 years before we can even think about doing the revised depreciation. So here's the calculation for the first 4 years. We're doing straight line depreciation, so we're going to take the cost minus the residual divided by useful life. Cost is $20,000, which we get from here. Residual is 0, and it tells us that here, and divided by 10 years. And it tells us that right here. So that gives us $2,000 of depreciation per year. Okay, notice it says after using the equipment for 4 years. So we're going to use that $2,000 per year for each of the first 4 years. So what's the accumulated depreciation after the first 4 years? Well, that's $2,000 per year, which we get from here, times 4 years is $8,000. So this is key. When we do this revised depreciation, at that point in time, we have $8,000 of accumulated depreciation, which means that the book value of the asset after 4 years is cost minus accumulated depreciation. Cost is $20,000. We subtract the $8,000 accumulated depreciation. So that gives us a book value of $12,000. So what that means is when we have this change in useful life estimate, the asset has $12,000 of book value on it. So in other words, that's the maximum that we can depreciate going forward. So requirement 1, record depreciation expense on the equipment for year 5. So we're we're skipping the first 4 years and we're going straight to year 5. So when we're doing a change in the depreciation, and there's a change in one of the estimates, the formula for the revised depreciation is the book value, in other words, the maximum amount that we can depreciate going forward. You subtract the new residual value, so the revised residual value, and then you divide by the revised useful life remaining. Now, if one of these is not revised, just use the original amount. Okay, now we need the book value starting in year 5. Well, we just calculated that. So the book value in year 5 is $12,000. We got that by taking the $20,000 cost, subtracting 4 years of depreciation, which was $2,000 per year. So that gave us $8,000. So our new book value at the beginning of year 5 is $12,000. Our residual value has not changed. It's still 0. And now we need to use a revised useful life remaining. So how many years are remaining? Only 3 more years. So we're going to take $12,000. That's the maximum that could be depreciated over the maximum that could be depreciated over the life of the asset is the book value minus the residual. So 12,000 divided by 3 gives us $4,000 of depreciation per year starting in year 5. And then record the depreciation on the equipment for year 5. Well, we just calculated it's $4,000 for the year. So we copy and paste 4,000. And the depreciation expense, and this is what, equipment, right? Depreciation expense on the equipment, and then the credit is accumulated depreciation on the equipment. to record depreciation on the equipment in year 5. And then they're going to ask us, what's the accumulated depreciation at the end of year 5? So at the end of year 5, for just that year, we have $4,000 of depreciation, but we also have, for the first 4 years, a total of $8,000 depreciation, which we got by saying $2,000 per year times the 4 years. So that gives us 8,000 plus this 4,000, so that gives us $12,000 of accumulated depreciation at the end of year 5. And that's it.